This Shabbat's Torah portion, Parashat Vayigash, begins with a climactic moment of confrontation. Joseph, unrecognizable to his brothers in his role as viceroy of Egypt, threatens to keep his younger brother Benjamin a prisoner on trumped-up charges. Judah, who had accepted the responsibility for Benjamin's safe return to their father Jacob, approached the throne to demand his release. The rabbis of the Midrash relate that as Judah stepped forward, the other brothers stepped back, saying to each other, "Two kings are now facing each other. We will not certainly get involved." For the rabbis, this moment is paradigmatic of the history that was to follow. The ongoing rivalry between Joseph, the eldest son of Rachel, and Judah, leader of the sons of Leah. During the era of the First Temple, as described in the biblical book of Kings, the Israelite kingdom that had been established by Kings David and Solomon fractured into two rival factions. The southern kingdom, led by the dynastic line of David, descended from Judah, and the northern kingdom, based in the land of Ephraim, reflecting the lineage of Joseph. Of the two, Judah emerged as the more dominant. Kings David and Solomon arose from Judah's descendants to form the first commonwealth and to build the first holy temple in Jerusalem. It was the Judeans who returned from Babylonian exile to establish the second commonwealth and build the second holy temple. And finally, our tradition tells us that the Messiah will emerge as a renewal of Judah's dynastic line. By contrast, Joseph's leadership is more limited. It's more fleeting. Rabbi Norman Lamb noted in a sermon that the enduring nature of Judah's leadership may be the result of his personality. At critical moments, Judah accepted responsibility. First, he admitted on more than one occasion when he was at fault, even at the cost of personal embarrassment, even humiliation. And second, Judah took responsibility for others, the way he put himself on the line for the sake of Benjamin. But in contrast, throughout the narrative, Joseph never accepts responsibility, nor does he ever consider others. He never thinks about how his own proud, ambitious behavior as a youth may have been what alienated his brothers and turned them against him. He never apologizes to his brothers for the way he mistreats them when he had the upper hand in Egypt. He never apologizes to his father for not sending back word much earlier that he was alive and well, sparing his father what would have been years of grief. Similarly, the end of the portion describes how Joseph coldly, methodically, forced all of Egypt to sell first their possessions, then their land, then finally themselves as slaves to Pharaoh in exchange for the food he had stored for the years of famine. Speaking in 1972, Rabbi Lamb calls this behavior in particular Stalinistic. Our sages see this confrontation as a contrast between two models of leadership. Joseph represents the ambitious planner, capable of great things, of worthwhile achievements, but our tradition favors Judah, who represents leadership capable of self-doubt, but also empathy, who rises to greatness precisely because of his capacity to recognize the cost of his actions, and also to bravely stand up and assume responsibility for them, and also responsibility for other people. Joseph's leadership is solitary. Judah's leadership comes in relationship with others. In contemporary times, we have so many Josephs, but perhaps the message in this Shabbat's Torah portion is that what we really need are more Judahs. Shabbat Shalom.